What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Coming at you guys today with another update on the Mousemobile. So you guys saw my previous upload where I talked about the problems with my clutch pedal, despite the fact that I had a new clutch put in just last month, along with a new pressure plate, new pilot bearings, and new throwout bearings. And the flywheel was remachined and is good to go for another 100,000 miles or so. Well, I just got the car back from the shop today, the same one I always go to, not the other shop that replaced the clutch. They couldn't find the problem, and the first shop couldn't find the problem either, but they were able to find it this time, but that has seemingly created another problem. So, unfortunately, that means this car is headed to the dealer on Tuesday. Don't know if you can hear that, but that's a pretty concerning sound. And I'd like to add, the clutch is significantly heavier than it was beforehand. Like, I should say heavier than it should feel. Not only that, but it seems like at times I can't even push it down all the way. Like, there's a really hard section of the clutch pedal there. There's just a tad bit of play, but that I don't really mind. At least it's better than what it was before. But still, I'm gonna have the dealer dig into this issue, because I'm pretty sure what I'm dealing with is a bad master cylinder. I had the slave cylinder replaced just last year because it was leaking hydraulic clutch fluid. So, yep, wouldn't surprise me that this has to go back to the dealer. I mean, I strongly advise against going to a dealership when you're out of warranty, just because it is the most expensive option as opposed to shop or an independent mechanic. Because when you're out of warranty, well, a lot of things that would be covered are no longer covered. You have to pay out of pocket. So if you go to the dealership, you're for sure going to get ripped off. If there's a shop that is authorized to do the repairs for cheaper, or even better yet, an independent mechanic who won't rip you off on labor like certain shops, and obviously the dealer. Yeah, the dealer's labor rate is the worst of them all. But yeah, as you might remember, we had an issue with the radio on the Mercedes last year. We took it to the dealership. Thankfully, it did not end up being a $3,000 bill. It was under $1,000. So that we got lucky with. But point being, the shop couldn't do anything about it because they don't have the Mercedes software. Only the dealership does. And probably some authorized Mercedes shops. But yeah, it's nothing that your average independent mechanic can fix unless he somehow has the software. He or she, I should say. I really don't want to assume gender. Doing that nowadays will have Karens on your tail. So, yep, not going to do that. But back to the Mousemobile. This issue pretty much annoys the crap out of me because, you know, this shit was happening before I even had the clutch replaced, and the fact that it started happening after I had it replaced is ridiculous. So at least I know it's nothing wrong with the actual clutch this time, but I guess that's beside the point, because I was told the clutch didn't have long left before it had needed to be replaced by the shop that did replace it. So I got lucky there. Ended up paying $1,800 for that altogether, including labor. The other shop was going to charge me $3,500, so almost half the savings. But such is life. Some repairs are more expensive than others, and at the dealership that would easily be a $4,000 bill, which I think is ridiculous for a manual transmission car. Because one of the reasons I got one was to have fun, but also to save on repairs. Because when you have an automatic transmission, if something fucks up, besides the parking pawl, that can be very expensive because you'll have to rebuild or replace the entire transmission. So it really just doesn't make financial sense nowadays to have an automatic transmission car, but that's what most of them come with nowadays. The manual transmission really is a dying breed, and it's likely that when cars go electric, there won't be any manuals left because it's strictly made for internal combustion engines. There's a lot of electric cars don't even have transmissions. They have one forward gear and one reverse gear. The Porsche Taycan has 2 forward gears, but I'm not even sure I could call that a transmission. But either way, I mean, electric cars, as fun as the accelerations are, they won't be as fun as internal combustion engines are. I mean, with the fact that you can paddle shift certain automatic transmissions, you can't do that anymore in an electric vehicle because they don't have a transmission. So that is one thing I will miss when electric cars completely take over and there are no gas cars left, or diesel for that matter. But yeah, that's where we're at with the Mousemobile right now. Aside from that, you might notice we have new garage door openers. So they also have a battery backup. We also got new clickers. So yeah, it's a significant upgrade from what we had. The old opener over on this side lasted us 20 years, yeah. Whereas this one, the old one was installed in 2011, so the first one lasted 10 years, and then the old one lasted 10 years. So pretty interesting to think about, but these also have motion sensors on the keypads there. So that way, when you walk into the garage, it turns on the lights. So we now have motion sensor for the garage lights, the regular ones. Don't know why it doesn't work sometimes. Sometimes you have to cycle this on and then back to auto, and then it works. And then we have a motion sensor here on the keypad, which is very sensitive. If I open the door, that motion sensor immediately goes off and turns on the light, which is pretty cool. It's very welcoming, if I do say so myself. But yeah, car's going to the dealer. I'll probably have a loaner for a day or two, or however long it takes them to find and fix the issue with my clutch pedal. Because, I mean, to be honest, for a car that's not even 10 years old and doesn't even have 100,000 miles, it's weird that it would be doing this. But then again, parts wear and tear, so it is to be expected, I guess. But the clutch right now feels like complete shit, or at least it felt like that beforehand. So I actually prefer it this way than previously because I don't have as much play. And, well, it is hard, but it's going to be fixed. So I'm pretty optimistic that it will be fixed and that it'll be back to being as smooth as it was even last year. That's all for this video. Peace out. Have a great day.